Hi, I'm Susan Taylor, and I belong to an organization called Adopt a Golden, and I foster dogs, and mostly they're mixes of golden retrievers, and they might throw in another mix, I don't know. But I love every one of the dogs that I've had, and we're going to be on our 4th dog, and I would take more. I've got 4 dogs in the house right now that are ours. I love dogs because they love you unconditionally. They're happy. They're glad to see you when you come home. They're glad to be with you. They stay with you. And they're just God's gift. I've been to shelters and to kennels and dog pounds all over from Connecticut to California to Tennessee, and they're awful. Some of them are nice and clean and stuff like that, but the dogs look so sad. And if I had 100 acres that was fenced in, I would take every one of them home with me. They don't know why they're in there, and most of the time it's because the people don't want them anymore. I was on the computer one day and I found this site, and it was Adopt a Golden. So I called and found out what it was about, and these 2 ladies started it about 4 or 5 years ago, and they work out of their homes and they rescue golden mixes, and out of kennels, kill shelters, and they find foster homes like us, and there's probably about 30 more people around Tennessee that do it, and you keep the dog and you see how they are when they're in their moods and how they get along with people and kids and dogs and cats, and then they find adoptions for them. Really nice people there. They take a lot of the dogs from the shelters and they keep them there until they go to foster homes. And he was a wild man. He was short. He was the color of cornbread, and that's what they named him. And I had an awful time trying to call his name Cornbread. We called him Corn Dog and Cornbread. Well, Cornbread, Corny, everything. And he got along well with the girls. He was a little frisky, but he learned his manners, and we had him for almost a month. And he was awesome. He went to Connecticut to live. And we had her for about 3 weeks. She was in a home in Alabama, and there was 2 teenage boys, and she had a shock collar on, and if she didn't do what they wanted to do or on command, they would shock her and throw her into a dark bathroom and kept her there till they felt that she was going to be better. And she was timid. She was snappy. She was very possessive over the things that she had. And she would snap at you if she was in a surprised state. But she got to the point where she was just so lovable, and especially with my sister. And she let us feed her without getting bit. And if she was surprised, she would snap at you. But we had her for about 3 weeks, I said, and she's doing a lot better. And she's in a home in North Carolina. She was adopted.
This is what you are, you take a video of. I know what people do to these dogs. These guys, look at this thing. Look at this. Josh, we're getting her off this right now. Help me. Can you fix
Okay, right now we're in an abandoned house.
Can you pick her?
Idiot. left all these dogs in the basement. They died.
The motherfuckers need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent. This one, they're all coming with us. I don't care what Lori says.
3 of them. Got them?
Yep. We're taking them all.
We're not leaving them here.
No, hell no.
I'll keep them at my house.
Okay.
If I got to. I don't want to take them. We'll get somebody else out.
Hey, buddy. They're starving you to death.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God. What the
Right,
fuck?
we need, you know what, I want you to definitely video this and show what people do to these dogs.
She's so skinny. Poor baby. What kind of idiot would do that?
The other one's on a chain that's like a couple inches long. This one was hanging.
Yeah.
I was gonna leave him down here to starve to death. You all right, buddy? Go ahead, eat. Don't choke. You didn't choke. Take your time. What the fuck's a padlock for?
Alright. It's okay.
Probably one of her pups.
We need bolt cutters.
Like this. You kind of crank the door a little bit.
He's
Not
right
much,
right
not
there.
much, not much.
He's right there.
Come here, buddy. Come here, boy. Hi, buddy.
It's okay, come here.
Not much more. Just in case. Come here, boy. Hi, Pumpkin. Come here.
Come here, bud.
Where's those burgers at?
Yeah.
She really used them all.
I think so.
Come here, Bubba.
Here you go. Here, boy.
No, not much.
I'm gonna sit down.
Take the chance. What if he's fucking me? That's not you. You're talking like Terry. Come on, boy.
I can't even see
In a
him.
minute. I know. She had a shitload of burgers left. She
I
really.
take all the dog stuff. Maybe check if there's a closet in there or something. Come on, buddy.
It's not mean, is it?
No.
How's he doing?
Where'd you go?
You need a second one? Yeah, I believe it.
Buddy? Yeah, I bet you needed that.
Good boy. Already house person, good boy.
I hate people that are abusive to any animal, and what they have done, especially to dogs, with the dog fighting and stuff like that. I think they should all be in jail. It's just disgusting what they do to the animals. The only thing the animals can't do is talk, and they're so lovable, and I don't know. The abuse is just unbelievable. Dogs don't deserve it. I think the people should be fined, put in jail, or if I really want to get bad, do the same things to them as they do to the animals, and see how they like it. I can't respect anybody that is mean to an animal. And the kill shelters, it's the people's fault that they're in kill shelters, because there's so many animals out there that should have been spayed and neutered. They shouldn't have all these puppy mills. It's just ridiculous. And it's not the dog's fault, it's the people's fault. a lady named Jessica sends me emails, or all of us emails, on dogs that are available for foster. And there was this little boy. He was so skinny and so depressed, and his bones were showing. You could see every line on his back. You could see all his ribs, and his ears were down, and he just looked so sad. And I called Jess, and I go, I want Kip. And we went to Rocky Hill to see him, and he was sick. He had kennel cough, so they kept him isolated in one of the rooms. So we went there, and we sat on the floor, and he came to us, and he was so hungry. And I bought some treats with us, and he didn't know any commands or anything, but his tail was just between his legs. He just didn't know what to do. He was scared. So we fed him treats, and we stayed there for about an hour with him. And then we went back a week later, after he was all healed. And he had a cut in his ear, and he was filthy disgusting. He was full of mud. And anyway, we brought him home the next week, and he was scared to come in the house. He was scared in the car. He was scared in coming into the house. So we put him in a dog cage in the kitchen, and we let our 3 other dogs, sniff him and stuff like that. And he was fine, and they were fine. So we let him out. And he grew day by day. He gained weight. He wouldn't let me out of his sight. He knew that I was the food person and the huggy, kissy one. And I called him Wigglebutt. They had named him Kip, but I called him Wigglebutt because his whole body and just shakes all over the place when, he sees anybody that, he loves. And he's gained almost 30 pounds since we've had him in a little over 2.5 months. And he's the most lovable dog, the sweetest dog, and he doesn't look anything like the dog in the picture from the shelter. He's just awesome. We kept him. Foster dogs, and mostly they're mixes of golden retrievers, and they might throw in another mix, I don't know. But I love every one of the dogs that I've had, and we're going to be on our 4th dog, and I would take more. I've got 4 dogs in the house right now that are ours. I've been to shelters and to kennels and dog pounds all over, from Connecticut to California to Tennessee, and they're awful. Some of them are nice and clean and stuff like that, but the dogs look so sad. And if I had 100 acres that was fenced in, I would take every one of them home with me. they don't know why they're in there, and most of the time it's because the people don't want them anymore. Hi, I'm Susan Taylor, and I belong to an organization called Adopt a Golden, and I foster. I love dogs because they love you unconditionally. They're happy. They're glad to see you when you come home. They're glad to be with you. They stay with you. And they're just God's gift.